Noi, over down here. And Ohana is actually from Makaha Valley. The Keolua's from up in the valley. We have Ohana from up there. And every so often we get a family reunion down. It's a Hukiku Keolua side. We come down this side for family reunion. Every other year we rotate around the island. But I say a lot to Ohana and everyone else who came here today.
How you feel?
Okay. So of course, and my name is Kalani Flores, and my wife Pua Case, and we are the Flores Case Ohana. That's one of the part of the Mauna Hui. Mauna Hui is made up of
Kahea from right down here, Environmental Alliance, Kealoha, Peshota, Debbie Ward, Kuching, Paul Nevis, and us.
Right.
And so in 2011, we can't even remember when it was. 2010 or 11, my family entered into this case, into the contested case, to protect the mountain. And we've always stood for the mountain, and we've never stood against anything, because it takes too much energy. And there's anger in that when you stand against. So we decided just to stand for. And we'd stand for the Mauna every day, forever, for the rest of our lives, and even beyond that, we'd stand. Aye.
And the names Pua mentioned is they've been standing a long time.
Way before us.
Even before this TMT project came out, and they had a kupunas before was standing up for the mountain. But as you know, the state has been systematically ignoring. When you go to the hearings, the decision's already made. We already know that. They're making the decisions behind the door with other political influences and business influences. So when you go to the hearing, they're just going to the formality. I mean, we got to be realistic. The decisions made, we go to the hearings, it's all formalities. But when we get to when we go to talk about the hearings with the Board of Land and Natural Resources, because they're the ones that issue the permits, they're the ones that issue the leases and everything else. And so the Hui, as all of us, when we go to the hearings, as many others, not just the Hui, but others went to the hearings and voiced our concerns that you're not following the rules and the laws. If you're going to say these are the state rules, then you got to follow your rules. But they've never been following the rules. And that's why the mountain today, the mountain we're talking about, Mauna Kea, Mauna Wakea, has been overdeveloped. That's why I get 13 telescopes. And that's why when they talk about the telescopes, with this project, the 30-meter telescope, also known as the TMT project, the 30 TMTs, even their EIS says the cumulative impacts upon the natural and cultural resources has been substantial, significant, and adverse. It tells it right in the report. And so it's not like they're doing anything to make it less. They're just adding to it. This is the TMT just adding one more and heva to the mountain. Unfortunately, you got to go to court to challenge that, because everything is a rubber stamp, as we all know in this state. And it starts from the top, from the governor, and it's the governor's appointees on the Board of Land and Natural Resources, the chairperson. It's all rubber stamp. It's already decided before. We gotta be realistic. So so it puts us, we say us, the public, the only way can do something is you gotta go to court, and we don't want to be in court, but they force us to be in court to challenge it. So first we went to the contested case hearing. It's like a little court, quasi type court, but it's not really in court yet. They appoint one hearing officer, and of course the hearing officer is there to sit on behalf of the board. The board could do it themselves. The board members could have the hearing and take all the testimony and all the information and make a decision, but instead they appoint a hearing officer. So the board appoints a hearing officer, and the hearing officer hears all the arguments, and then the hearing officer makes a decision, and then it goes back to the board. But in the whole process, the hearing officer just when rubber stamp what the board had said. They never take nothing into account. After all the testimony given, nothing's given account. They just basically rubber stamp everything what the state said. So it's rubber stamp all the way down. Then we went to court, circuit court, and the third circuit court basically was another rubber stamp. And so then the next court would have been the Intermediate Court of Appeals, but we asked to bypass that court, and we went asked to the court, and our attorneys and Naivi Werdeman, who took the case on like pro bono. He just took it on because we couldn't find anybody else, and he was the one who stepped forward. And so we mahalo Naivi, and so he took it to the state Supreme Court. Yeah. And when he took it to the state Supreme Court, that's when you get a little more justice, because the Supreme Court justices no more political influences, right? Because they're already at that position. They can't go any further. They're there for life, basically. So they're not trying to work their way up like everybody else. They're not trying to work their way. So they tend to make decisions more independently without outside influences. That's what the whole process all the way. There's so much outside influences. And I'm not making this up either, because the others who were on the Kila case having to do with the Haleakala, when they was going through their contested case, they was able to bring to light that had all these emails going on with, and I'm not gonna mention the name, but Senator Inouye's office and others from the office was influencing the decision of the hearing officer and everything else. And they got all the emails, so we know what I'm saying is true. They found the email, they got the emails and showed that, hey, these guys improperly communicating and making influences on a person who's supposed to be unbiased to make a decision. Of course, that's not what the case happened for them. And so their case is ongoing. And so it came to the Mauna case, we was able to get it to the Supreme Court, state Supreme Court, and they rendered the decision just recently saying, yeah, they never follow the rules. They never follow due process. That's why the permit is invalidated. They never follow their own rules. And they basically said that's what they did. But as you know, even though the state knows, the university who is the applicant knows, all their attorneys know, the TNT and corporation, they all know that the permit was invalid. They already knew. And so what they did was they tried to push ahead with the construction, because they figured they get the construction going, they can get things going, and that by the time that the court make one decision, they're hoping that they already built or at least a significant part. Then by the time, too late, what you gonna do? That's what's happening with the Haleakala, that case. The telescope almost 80% complete. And they never do the process right. So what you gonna do now? The court can kind of say, okay, go back, do the process again. It's a done deal, really. That's why they was trying to push ahead with the construction on Mauna Wakea. They wanted to get things going because they knew the court was going to likely follow the same kind of way and say your permit is invalidated because you guys never follow your rules in the process that you're supposed to follow. So that's when it came in, and that's when the protectors came in. And the protectors is like the appeal gang, not a gang, but the appeal group, which includes our daughter and others. They came in and they wanted us to rally everybody, and they would stop the construction.
The groundbreaking.
So first they stopped the groundbreaking, then they stopped the construction, and three times for the construction crews from going up, because they said, no way, you guys not going to start construction while the thing is still in court. And sure enough, it was fortunate that the decision came out as soon as it came, because the decision in the Supreme Court can be years. or months for a decision to come out. So we're so blessed that the decision came out at the time it came out. And what the Supreme Court's decision basically says, it validated everything we were saying, and I say we, the protectors, the Mauna Kea Ohana, the Mauna Kea Hui, and everybody else was saying that you guys are doing it illegally, you guys' permit is not valid, you guys are not following the rules and the laws, and you guys shouldn't be doing construction. And basically, when the Supreme Court said the permit is invalid, it just validated what everybody was saying. And so today, that's why we stand here in deepest of honor to all you folks here who've been standing here in Nanakuli on this side of the island, and from Ohana all the way down here, standing up for, not just for Mauna Wakea, but standing up for the AINA, standing up for every place that we have a divine and sacred connection to. And we have an ancestral connection to this place. And even if you're not Hawaiian, you still have a connection to this place because you live on this AINA, live on this land. But if you're a KANAKA, more so you have an ancestral connection to this land. And that's what the Mauna told to all of us. In a way, and I say told, but that's what the Mauna brought our people, when wake our people up and say, hey, if you cannot protect your sacred people, you cannot protect the Mauna of all the most sacred places. If you cannot protect that, what is going to happen to everything else? And so the Mauna basically woke everybody up in a way, or lifted everybody up. And you see all the guys popping the horns and waving the shakas. It's because everybody, when we got awakened. Like this movement is not just here in Hawaii. This movement is worldwide. Many other native peoples protecting their own waters, the mountains, their land in the same way, because we all have ancestral connections. But we stand here in honor of you folks who've been holding down Nanakuli and Waianae here from early on, and for those who came up to the Mauna, stand with us. When I say us, I mean all of us, the Ohana, everybody. Everybody is an Ohana. It's not just us here, but everybody. So everybody who came to stand on the Mauna, those who couldn't come, but hold signs and did pule, we mahalo all of it.
If you guys were actually on the mountain, if you came up to the mountain at all, can you just show us that you did so that we can see who you are? Because that's important. So who are you that came up to the mountain? Because I want to say something about that, And it doesn't mean anybody who didn't is any less than. But what I want to say, so what I'm trying to say is when you came up to the mountain, they represented you. They represented all of you. And their conduct on the mountain is what I want to talk about. Our conduct on the mountain is different from conduct anywhere else. Our behavior, what's expected of us in this kapu aloha that we have to stand in on the mountain, because that's what the mountain expects. And so those who came from here and stood with us on the mountain, they represented you. And the next time, if it's another one of you, at any time that comes to the mountain, you represent them. And that's the beauty of this movement, that we truly are recognizing when somebody comes from a community, and really there might only be 6 of you in here, but you were all there through those who came up there. And that's what this movement is doing for all of us. You don't have to be on the mountain. You can be sign waving right here. You can be writing a letter. You can be calling somebody. Whatever way you do it, you are on the Mauna. And that's really important. And we have changed so much. And I believe that those of you who are in any way a part of this movement, don't you feel that you're changing? You know, because we're changing, because we're kinder. We have a courtesy. We're living the values that we only read about. We're looking at each other and we're holding each other tighter for longer. And we are acknowledging when we are standing. And I'm telling you that I'm crawling to courage here. I'm crawling to it. And yes, I've only been in this since 2010 with my own family, but I'm born and raised right under that mountain. And you know, when you stand and you make that decision, when you know that the officers are going to be armed, and you still go. Like this last one, November 18th, when we knew what we were up against and we were still going to go. And you drive through that fear, and you know they're all waiting at Halipohaku, and you hear maybe the National Guard is going to be there, but you still keep driving. That's when you know there's no turning back. And the only way we can do that there is because of everybody who's everywhere praying for us, chanting, singing, holding a sign, and just standing for us from here and everywhere. And I wish we could be all over Oahu, because this by no means is everybody. This is one community, two communities, and really it's your whole Mokupuni. And I wish we could do that, but we can't. So this is where we decided to be today. But really, we're speaking to everybody on this island when we say that it matters. And please don't stop, because we're not going to stop. And we need you. We really need you.
Mahalo, all of you. Bimo Akiona from Moku Oke Abe. Folks are so important. You know, like the last one, I lived there. I retired fire police. So I get a call. Bimo, get 80 guys coming from off your island. Bimo. The campsite is on Department of Hawaiian Homeland. That's where the command post is. Bimo, they serious. Bimo, they get weapons. And when you hear that, the only thing can make you drive through the fear is knowing about you guys. Knowing about Waimanalo. Knowing about Maui. Knowing about your Mo'opuna. And you know you gotta go. And you go. And you know about people like Lahu'i. Barakako, Keke. Coming up. You guys, coming up. We all want Kino. We may be in different places, but the only way we can reach the way we all need each other is for us to be connected in our Kino. We were being pushed towards a cliff from TMT. Not just TMT, the process, the state government, everything. We as Hawaiians, we still getting pushed towards a cliff. But because more of us coming in the pile, we getting harder to push. And now we started to push back. Now instead of just standing there, we turning around and we're looking them straight in the face. And we say, come. And it ain't gonna be easy. You're gonna hurt as much as us. And now they started to slow down. So we gotta keep this. We gotta keep the momentum. Because the more momentum we build, the more potential we have. And we far from the end of this thing. We 7 generations from our end.
Yeah.
And we gotta keep thinking that way. And so I just want to come and mahalo you guys. When I saw Lahu'i post, she was gonna be here, and then pull a post, and I tell myself, oh, I following in the day before. I get chance for come. And so I all happy. I bring my new daughters from Arizona. They've been with me up to Mauna. They've been on the island 3 days. They like go up. Beautiful people. And so I'm anxious to come all the way over here until I hit your traffic.
That's like Kona for people. It's like Kona.
And I say, okay, people, get more things you gotta think about, our quality of life. So we fight for what's right, because I'm in this not as a Hawaiian who get Hawaiian rights. I'm in this for the Hawaiian culture. Because I believe the Hawaiian culture is good for the whole world. We're about love. Our language is about love. We don't curse, we don't say, kapu aloha. Pua had to tell me that a couple times. Because I like whack. You know what I mean? You like whack. That's what you grew up learning, you know. But Kapu Aloha works big time, and so mahalo for this opportunity to say mahalo to all you folks. It is incredible for me to be here with you folks today. Mahalo you, mahalo me, mahalo all of us. Aloha.
Yeah, put a little. So we're going to end with where we go from here, and then where Kalani and I have to go from here is to the other side of the island. But we, as I just said at the beginning, our journey continues. We had a high five, we had 2 minutes of yes, and then it was like, okay, we got to jump into the next phase for us. And we're going to ask you, of course, to support and jump into that phase. Because what I am saying in front of my husband is, you know how we say we're going to be here until the last aloha AINA? I say way beyond that from the spirit world. But he is the last aloha AINA in this sublease case. He's the only one. And he's doing this pro se, but with a lot of help. And so I want him to just kind of touch on what we're doing, but know that he's the only one. And when you're the only aloha AINA left in something, then really, more than what we just went through, we're going to need everybody more than ever.
So the permit was invalidated for the TMT project. So just go back to that. So that means we don't exactly know what it totally means, but I know they got to start over again. And to how far they're going to start over? They're going to do the permit all over, or they're going to start the contest. They got to do the contested case. That we know for sure. So, but what's still pending in court is the sublease. So the sublease. So BNR issued the permit for the conservation district use permit, and they also give consent for a sublease. And a sublease is the reason why it's a sublease, because the lease for the most of the over 11,288 acres, the state will issue we call the master lease to university. And so what the University of Hawaii's been doing is subleasing out to all the telescopes. 13 telescopes, and so they're going to and so they went into sublease one more time to the TMT Corporation. And so we challenged them too, that you guys are following the rules in the process. So right now the case is yet to be heard, waiting for a hearing. All the briefs is still yet to be filed, but it was done the same way the permit was done. And they never follow the rules. They never follow due process. So we're hoping that when you go to court, the judge sees that they never follow the rules like the permit, they never follow the rules like the sublease, so the sublease should be invalidated. Right. But the question is, why are you issuing one sublease when the master lease ends in 2033, I believe, around that time? Which is not too far from now. So why are you building something that is going to be longer than 2033? Because if they were to build the TMT project, it wouldn't be finished to 2020 something. And the master lease ends in 33. So that means you only get about less than 10 years of life on that telescope. Yet the telescope's life is around 60 years or more. So something is going on that in Hawaii, you can only have a lease for 65 years. And that's what the university has. The law doesn't allow you to renew the lease. The lease ends 65 years, that's it. When it's POW, you gotta get off your POW. You're supposed to get off the mountain. And so that's the next big thing coming up, is the master lease. And the state and the university, they're trying to work and maneuver around the rules and the laws that's in place, and they're trying to get a new lease. That's a whole other issue. But we just gotta be maka'ala, because they're doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. There's rules and laws that they're not following. And unless we keep these guys accountable. Like if nobody would appeal the case, everything would have just went through. And that's why we have to appeal, because you're not following the rules and laws, and make them accountable. And so the sublease is coming up for hearing, and we look favorable upon the judge that it's based upon the Supreme Court's ruling that the sublease should also be invalidated. But we gotta be maka'ala, because what we've seen happening on the Mauna is happening all around us here. Not just on the Mauna, happening in Hawaiian homesteads here, happening on our lands here in these islands. It's the same thing that's been going on all the time. But now the movement is more people is becoming not just more maka'ala about it, but more people standing up about it. And I think that's what the Mauna helped all of us as a Lahu'i and as a people of these who live in Hawaii and afar, is that if we talk about aloha AINA, we're going to stand up for aloha AINA. Yeah. And we just say mahalo to all you folks who've been standing up for the AINA.
Totally.
Here, holding your signs, making your signs, waving every Wednesday here in Nanakuli, holding our Nanakuli Beach Park. Mahalo to all you guys over here. Mahalo.
Yeah. And so our next steps really is our patriots who are in court. They're in court January all through the month. We have either trials or we have continuances and extensions. And the patriots are those who have been arrested over time, all the way since April, and some of them stand amongst you. And so that's immediate as well. So for us, it's patriots first, then sublease, and then longer term. And we're all in that. But we are leaving you in a few minutes, and we want to end on a high note, because really there's nothing sad about this, okay? This is like so freaking fabulous. That's all I can say. This is like changed our lives. It's so fabulous. And we all know, that today, we have said it all during the day, that the machinery came down today, and just like every other day that we've been on the mountain, there were kia'i up there. Before they went up there, there were kia'i up there on the summit area, chanted them all the way down, and let us know about it every step of the way. Okay, first machine coming down, coming around the switchback, crying away until every single one came down, and Lanakila had just arrived up there, so it was a sweet victory for him, because he at least got to see them all come down, coming off from here, flying back home. He just caught it at the end. And I'm just going to say what the last thing that we did on the phone. My daughter and I chanted together on the phone, and we chanted this chant right here. E mano no la e ai, e mano no la e ai, ka ope ope, ka ulu he la e a, ai, oi. That is a chant from the time of Kamehameha II, when Kekua Okalani and Manono stand for the kapu system. And they are killed, husband and wife. Where is Leke Leke, or the Kona Surf Hotel area, if you know it by that. And today, we said to Manono, today you have your victory. Today, you get to stand Manavahine, Kekua Okalani, in your name. We stand because you stood at the ending of the kapu system, and you fought and you died for that. We didn't have to. We stood, and we are living and breathing, and we are victorious in this moment. And now we stand for them. And that was the last thing we did before Kalani blew the poo right here, and they blew the poo on the mountain. And we said, yes, we're going Nanakuli. So, eo Nanakuli, thank you so much, man, for having us here.
From Uncle Kalani, Bobimo, everybody that came from Wakea, for Nanakuli, yeah. It's like mahalo nui nui ke aloha to you folks there, because we hold them down every Mondays from May, you know, so with Auntie Doi, Uncle Kavika, Sister Mailani, my wife Noe, us, Udi's Sister Keke, you know, Lahu'i, Lahu'i stay with us, Tita Lori, Nanea. You hold them down like you said, Auntie. Sometimes they rain or shine. Auntie Noe's first time when got all drenched in rain. We was here holding down in the rain too, but because Mauna Wakea brought us all together.
I know.
You know, and we love you guys. And we hold them down, you know. And everybody, we missed like 3 weeks one time. And when we came back, everybody was like anxious to see us. They sticking their heads out of the, you know, they was waiting for us, you know. And because at one time, all our mokus over here, everybody was holding signs from Makaha all the way down. But we choose to stand because we love you guys, and we love our Lahu'i, we love our country, and we love our wahipana. You know, so nui ke aloha, mahalo.
Yeah.
Mahalo for coming.
Yeah.
One more last thing. If you like come our island, you like come our Mauna, I already went host this one at KK, so you know I can host you.
You get nice holiday.
You get
beautiful bathroom too.
He has petroglyphs in his bathroom. Wow.
You're welcome at my house anytime.
Wow.
Just contact me,
That's
come
nice.
over, and I'll host you over
Very
there. Okay?
gracious. Wow. Very.
I need to go there next time.
Just get in touch with me.
We be there.
Okay? Seriously, just come over. That's the
Yeah.
least I can do in Mahalo.
Thank you, Bimo. So, can I ask you a question? What happens? Are you guys going to take down the holiday on Mauna Kea?
We're not planning to do that,
Really? So
no.
it will just stay up.
Yeah, because we're still there. We are still there. We're not going anywhere. We are still there. In fact, Sunday we have ceremony for the solstice right there and pu'uhuluhulu. We are still there.
So are you still going to need like donations of things? Are there still forever? There's will be a supply list that people can just keep sending as they want, as it's on their heart.
Later, maybe. Just keep tuned to my Facebook page. Are you guys following? Yeah, yeah. I'm Pua Case from Pu'ukapu, Waimea, right below Mauna, Wakea. Patriot. Contact me on Facebook, Pua Case. You can't friend me, I have too many friends, but you can private message me, and I'll add you in from here, or puacase@hawaiiantel.net, and that's how you can find me.
Mama kakaua, AINA, ke ukakaiaka, ona uiwi o Hawaii, no Lahu'i aripa,
Mauna! All right.